What's up, y'all? So I'm piloting two different ideas that I have for this community that we're building with the story of us. And kind of the whole idea around it is this, idea that I've been sharing in the past couple of videos about how, I'm currently thinking about where my career is going and like how I want to be successful, but I don't want to like go to the top alone, right? Like I don't want to achieve success, live in a mansion or get all this money and then people around me, still can't eat or, are like living a lesser quality lifestyle, right? Like I want to embrace the idea that we're all connected. You know, I have this really just strong innate feeling that because we're all connected, I can't turn my back to anybody. Like I can't keep competing with people in this like capitalist economy. I can't I can't continue to exploit people. I can't continue to hide information, like it's advantageous for me to like hide information from somebody because that way I can use it to get money and get money over them. And like this whole like competition economy, emphasized by sports teams that, with cities and, competing against each other and always having this like visceral hatred toward each other, I think is done with. I think that's just the old, and then now the new is coming in. Like it's the new wave is to be one together and to, I don't want to say something corny like treat everyone as family, because I think there's parts of that though, right? It's like, not treat everyone as family as in like, oh, everybody's gonna love each other type shit, but it's more like treat everyone like family as in like, okay, like you may not like somebody or like you may not get along with somebody, but it's like you're not gonna like let that person intentionally suffer, like, because of something that you're doing, right? It's like, okay, like if homie over here, homegirl, home person, whatever over here is like, they aren't able to like go somewhere or do something, like, if you're able to help them out, you're able to do something, then shit. That's the vibe, right? You're always looking out for your homies. So what I want to do is two things, right? So I had this idea for this app for a long time, called Shares, the Sustainable Human Access Resource Environment. And pretty much the concept was like a Google for, what is it? Gig workers. Like, so it's like kind of like you can think Fiverr or like Uber or like Airbnb. Like it's kind of like all those things combined, right? Where you don't need to like go to all these different websites. It's kind of like just like you post like what you need, or like somebody will post like what they have, and then y'all kind of just work it out from there. And that's the idea. It's kind of like vague and kind of broad right now, but I want to at least like do like a prototype with it. So I think for the prototype, like shit, like it's ours. Like, I don't want to, this is not my private IP, private property. Like that's something that I want to get by with this, is that in order to break out of the system, we need to break the system, right? So and this is not saying we can't use the system, right? Like obviously, like if like something happens, like I'm still probably gonna call the police, right? Like, or I'm not saying with this idea, I'm saying like if something like where I would need the police, like I go outside and like somebody's like attacking me and I'm like, I need medical emergency, like I'm gonna call the police. But like I say that in a way to say the same way of like, okay, like if it's necessary for us to like get, a corporation or an LLC, because you don't want to get sued and then you're like, oh, I was just trying to do this my own way, but I don't believe in the laws of this country. And then, they're like, oh, well, you're going to go to jail because, or we're going to take all your stuff because you live in the United States. And in the United States, you live under our rules and our laws, right? So this is also kind of a bigger idea of like using the game. We got to play the game to break the game, right? So, um, we'll do all the legal stuff that we need to do. We'll get all that straight. Um, and yeah, I mean, we don't gotta do anything. Like I feel like part of this um, project too, or I don't even call it project, movement or whatever. Part of this whole thing is like breaking out of like the language that we use previously of just like, there's always like a leader, there's always somebody telling you what to do. And, I don't like any of that. Like I don't subscribe to any of that. I think we're all unique individual people and we all have our own needs, our own wants. And just like a family living in a house, like, somebody needs some, oh, shout somebody's name, blah, 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 get some help, whatever, chill with somebody, hang out with somebody. Oh, like, yeah, I'm looking for a friend, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think everything in this world is so formal and so, like, you know, it's because we're living in this society where it's like we're out to eat each other up. So it's like if somebody breaks the rules, or so, it's like a football game. So it's like if somebody tries to get an extra yard, like, you know, we got to stop them. A side note: this is also why I realized why I never liked sports growing up is because maybe people don't see this like I do, but I always felt like it was like fighting somebody. Like I played basketball, like those kind of sports like basketball or even football. Football's a lot more intense though, but like because I only played flag and then I played tackle 1 year, 1 season. And even with basketball though, I felt like you're like literally like fighting somebody. So I would always get, maybe because, I didn't know or I had like anxiety or something, but it just never felt right. Like I always just felt like I just never felt like on stepping on somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's always like, oh, like domination, like oh, dunk on somebody, and you know, I just never found appeal in that. Like, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I didn't do any of that. Where I would like, I'm not saying I wouldn't like try to cross somebody up or like drop somebody or, you know, do a little move on them and get them shaken away or you know what I'm saying, like little razzle dazzle, interceptions, I'll do all of that, you know what I'm saying? But there was a certain point or just like a certain mindset I think I always had where it's just like, I'm not out here to make other people look bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to like, and that just might sound crazy. And I was definitely a competitive person. Like honestly, I did competitive debate. So for me, that was a little different, but it's honestly still the same because I felt like instead of like putting them down, it was more convincing a judge why I should not be put down, right? It was sometimes it was against them though. So, but that was more and less of my job and sort of the team that I was on. So, yeah, and that's why I kind of like left law school too because I was really wanting to do litigation, and I'm like, I don't want to be a grown ass man arguing with these people every day about some dumb shit about minutia and fucking contracts and shit where it's just like, okay, like we're all grown here, like we can all figure this out. We don't have to play this little technical legal game and shit. You know what I'm saying? So that was a long side note, but yeah, I don't even know if I explained what the prototype is. So the prototype is basically just going to be probably like an Excel sheet or Google spreadsheet rather. I think like feedback is always provided, and I want to make this very open too. So it's like I want to make sure I'm making this like like open source. People like do open source where it's like the community kind of codes it and creates it all. It's kind of like how I would want this to be, where it's like a community, like no one person owns it sort of thing. And even that, you're already breaking the system, right? Because, you know, you're breaking the system in a way where it's like, oh, if nobody owns this, and it's like, who do you sue? Now, obviously, that wouldn't really stand up in a court of law as strong because, you're still kind of creating it and, you're still sort of claiming at least part ownership or whatever. But I think just starting to use new vocabulary and breaking out of this idea of, oh, I own this and this is mine and all that stuff. Like, I don't even own my own body. And like, this is another side note where it's like, I was even thinking how important it is for us to separate ourselves from our own egos, right? Like, that's been a journey for me, but now I see it even more clearly where it's like, whenever somebody's saying something about something that I did or something, I should correct or they laugh at me for something, I should be able to like remove my spirit or whatever, my soul from my body and like look at me in a third person perspective and be like, ha ha ha, or like, damn, that's right. Or oh, this person should change this, or just at least like go with the flow a little bit more, because I think all ego does is like make us like fight against each other constantly. So I think that'll help with like this whole like oneness sort of idea. So yeah, it took a minute to kind of explain everything, but I kind of just want to also give background too. Like I wanted to make it a full YouTube video just so y'all know where I'm coming from, and yeah, so that's what it's gonna be. I was gonna call it T sauce, like TEA space SAUCE, because I was thinking like, how am I gonna? I'll tie to the story of us, and then in my mind, I was like, oh, the acronym is TSOS. I don't know why I made us S, but I was like, oh, T sauce, T sauce, T sauce. Just something random, something that'll, yeah, just get it going. I think that's part of it too, making it fun, making it random, making it we're breaking out of this kind of like logical thing in terms of like, oh, this is share, this is the share network. Like, fuck all that. Like this shit can be a fucking game, a fucking joke. Like nobody's taking this shit seriously. Like we're looking out for each other, and we're using alternative methods of resolution. We're not going through as many of these like legal systems. Like of course we're gonna use them while we have to, but once we change the minds, once we unlock our minds from slavery, then that'll unlock the mass scale of like how important this is going to be, because we cannot be controlled anymore. We won't be able to be controlled by the governments and all these institutions where it's like, oh, we're going to put you in jail for this. It's like, oh no, never mind. It's like there's nothing to steal anymore. Like ownership is like, not ownership doesn't exist, but it exists in a different way, right? Like I want to be careful with like how I'm saying this, because people get all like razzle dazzle freaked out about like, oh my god, I'm not gonna have anything. That's not how it works. It's like, you still like would have like your room in a family, right? Your bedroom or your pillow, like, your phone or whatever. It's more of a deeper idea of like how we conceptualize relating to each other, right? And sharing with each other and being like, oh, I'm always a resource for you. You're always a resource for me, right? It's not 1v1, v1, v1, forever. So yeah, y'all down for that? I'm gonna put the link in the description. It'll probably just be something simple like, this is what I need, and then have somebody like try to fulfill it if they can. Like maybe if it's like location based or not, leave that there. And then PS bonus, I think a second thing that I want to do is, I think I'm going to name this one Pineapple Pizza. I was just thinking about this last night. I think Pineapple Pizza is going to be kind of this protest app, essentially, where it's not even just protest, though. It's kind of just like collective action, where a group of people, and there's probably already websites for this, but I just want to explore probably. So I might do more research on this first, but I just want something where, since we're one, we're the story of us now, create something where we can all go somewhere and say, hey, we're all going to agree to do this, right? Just like with like the Montgomery bus boycotts, where it's like they all agreed not to ride the bus for however long, a year or two or whatever. They got everything changed. Or I think there's also like this protest or like something going on where people are signing on to this thing where it's like, if they get enough signatures, it's going to be like a protest for like the working economy, the working class. So something along those lines, where we can just have like an app where just be like, oh, like this is something that I want to be a part of. Okay, like this Friday, nobody's going to buy anything. You know what I'm saying? Like where the people now take control back, right? It's like how people on, I guess, Reddit or something, were like shorting GameStop and like got all this money. Like, this is the bigger picture, y'all. Like, the bigger picture is realizing that we are one and we are in control. Like, the reason that we're all suffering, in my opinion, or at least why I'm suffering, is because we're all fucking atomized. We're all cut up into little boxes and placed in separate units and told to fight against each other. But what the people in power obviously don't want and don't realize, well, no, they realize it, but what we maybe not realize is that that shit's all an illusion. And that when we understand each other as one, as individuals, but also as one, that synergy is going to be crazy. It's out of this world. It's no longer going to be, oh my God, I got to compete for space. Or And it's no longer, oh, this is the main thing too. Like, it's no longer gonna be fucking so profit focused where it's like, I'm doing everything I can to raise shareholder value. If that means I got to poison people, if that means I got to get people addicted to their computer screens and addicted to YouTube and, more watch time, more watch time, more watch time. It's like, what was it, Netflix or somebody, some CEO or YouTube maybe, some CEO was like, our main competitor is like time or no, like they were like attention, like our main competitor is attention. I don't know, but they were basically just like, we don't have any like real like company competitors. It's just like we're trying to sap as much time out of you as possible. But with this world, it's like we're doing things because they're actually helpful. Like if somebody's like, oh, they're gonna post a video, and you like, oh, you want to post a video too, so you can get money. But it's like you don't have to worry about that anymore. Like you don't have to compete. You don't have to take their stuff down because they might have a really good fucking idea, a really good fucking video, and you don't want to compete with that. You think you should promote that. So now you're promoting that, and since we're all working as one, their win is our win, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of just like spitballing and talking off the cusp, and kind of just doing. Backwards speaking and speaking backwards. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. Fuck AI. All right, bye.